Alright, so it's me, NBT Sky. I'm having another random thought moment. Crown chakras and third eyes. The overusage of the crown chakra and third eye. Not saying that this is always the case, but it's a nice chunk. Look at my grays. They popping out. They about to be another color though. Anyway, there's people that experience these dark, and I had to go look this up, but there's people that experience this dark mark right here in their forehead. And then there's people that experience balding right here. A lot of males right here, right? So, doing some research and looking it up, I came to realize that there's either two things taking place. Either there's an overusage of the third eye and the crown chakra, or there's an energetic shift with the third eye and the crown chakra. So when I was doing some research trying to determine why there's people that have this dark mark right here in their forehead, like literally a dark mark. Now most people is gonna think, oh, you know, I mean, there's certain systems where I've asked that question. They said, oh, you know, that's about blessings. When I did some research, I found out that it's more so an overusage or an overpull of energy to the third eye, or an overpull of energy to the crown chakra, where that energy is not fully balanced or it's over, and so there's balding and there's this dark mark that takes place. All of this consisting of the head. If you look at certain systems, you're going to see that is a constant repetition of individuals who end up with this extreme dark mark right here. It's an overworking of the third eye. It's an overworking or an attack, even though I don't look at it, but a target of the crown and a target of the third eye that people don't pay attention to. So it led me to think, you know, people in certain systems, they flush this out, but this is way too often that it takes place. And as far as the crown, you know, they have different conditions that they assign to the balding of the crown. But we're thinking about, you know, they say, you know, alopecia exists, things like that exist. As far as I'm concerned, it's simply, it's simply a energy thing. Because it's, you know, in outward. Even in meditation can be too much. Most people that they deal with meditation, they dealing with it in the crown, in the third eye chakras, right? Those vibrations of colors. Certain situations call for certain fasts and certain meditations, period. You underuse a chakra, then you have to work, you have to meditate. You overuse a chakra, then you meditate on that chakra. And I think a lot of people feel like, oh, well, I have to use third eye to meditate on those other chakras. Not necessarily. If you understand the vibration of each chakra and the color of each chakra, then you get to meditate on each chakra without disturbing the other chakra. So, for instance, I posted a while ago, oh, I fasted from sex, I fasted from food, I fast once a year from kicking it with people on my birthday. Those are different areas. The birthday is just a day that I choose to do a full, I don't want to be bothered. So, therefore, I rest. Nobody bothers me. Nobody's supposed to bother me. Anyway. I'm not even going to get into that because only like one person respected that rule. But anyway. So, if I feel like there's a disturbance in my heart chakra, is it necessary to tap into the third eye or the crown chakra to address that? Well, each chakra has its own color, it has its own vibration, so no. And this is how people get it overworked because they go into their third eye to deal with the other vibrations. And it's not always necessary, which you end up throwing the third eye and the crown off. I don't think people think of it that way, but I'm not saying that you have to think of it that way, but I think of it that way. And even when you're dealing with the, you know, the lower or the Orisha, you still have to consider what areas of the body they represent, what vibrations they represent, what actions they represent, what type of motion is represented in it. And so if my heart chakra is off, I'm not disturbing my crown and my third eye to deal with it. I'm focusing on that particular chakra. If my base chakra is off, I'm not going to just focus on the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, etc. I'm going to deal with the base chakra. One thing that I find or found amazing is if you think of the heart chakra as green, and we have plants, we have vegetation, we have grass, all can live off of that. So therefore, you know, there was a time that I felt like I'm not going to say I felt like, but I kind of agreed that each food addresses each chakra, but there's one universal that addresses and fixes all chakras or all vibrations. So I had to kind of dismiss that. You know, there's people that have this concept, you know, you eat red foods, it deals with the base chakra, you deal with yellow foods, it deals with the yellow chakra, you deal with green foods, it strengthens the heart chakra. The heart chakra is one of the most powerful chakras in the body, and that is the radiation of green. So therefore, if that is one of the most powerful chakras outside of the crown and the third eye, and the third eye is about being able to see, the crown is about the connection. The heart universally connects to all of the vibrations, or should, if you ask me, then green trumps. The color green trumps. It addresses all chakras. It's universal to all chakras. Even when you're dealing, like, even if you're dealing with paint, you can look at the different colors that are mixed together to create another color. So therefore, I know what chakras, what colors or what chakras can come together to create in that realm. So let's say you put green and green and yellow paint together, you're gonna get brown. So we know we're dealing with earth energy. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You put, you know, red and white, and you're gonna get a pink color. So, you know, you're out in the auras now. It's the same thing. You put all the colors together and you're gonna get black. So, you know that all of those colors address that. All colors address that. It's the same thing. People have to think about those things. Even when we looking at bone throws, even when you're looking at tarot, you think of those things. You see red and yellow, blue, whites, oranges in your cards or in images. You can look at them for what they are separately, but if you put them together, you're going to produce another color, and so you produce another vibration, another understanding. Anyway, well, you know, Lelia is your soul. Anyway, the discussion of colors and how I look at vibration, or how I tap into vibration, or how I deal with colors. Right now, I could be going through whatever I'm going through. I'm still going to address vibration one way or the other. So recently, my experience is when I choose to cook, when I choose to make something to eat, I have an energy or an individual that completely yells. It's always something negative over the food. So now I understand that energy. it can't be around my food. This is why on my site, when I had it up, and it'll be back up, of course, there was the rice challenge. The rice challenge was just simply about placing bowls of rice in different areas of the house to see whether it was going to stay fresh or how fast it was going to go bad, to determine whether the energy was off or the energy is good. That's what the rice challenge was really about. It was a fun challenge. I did it myself. I put a couple of bowls around the house to see if the energy was off, because food absorbs energy regardless. Anyway, consciously, it's a discussion of colors right now. Right now, I'm gravitating toward a particular color, so I'm aware, and so it'll be addressed. When you bring these colors and vibrations into like wealth, prosperity, health, certain aspects, you're gonna be met with a resistance. That's just duh, and that's typical, right? But it still will be addressed. The resistance usually is not even aware, so therefore you address it. I see things in colors. I see things in numbers. I see things in vibration naturally. So it's being paid attention to. There's other people on the planet that also see things in numbers, colors, and vibrations, and interpret it the way they choose to interpret it, and so therefore you can't argue with them. That's how they interpret it, and that's cool. When people start to use outside of systems, but when it gets wicked. People can, people are prey upon certain colors because they know it radiates certain vibrations, and there were certain areas against you or for you. Why? It's not necessary. At the end of the day, I pay attention. I'm aware. And so we all should pay attention and should be aware. But anyway, that was just a random thought. I'll talk to y'all later.